So Goku activates Ultra Instinct Sign in front of Moro, but Vegeta's just surprised that a gorilla can tap into that divine technique, whilst Piccolo is ecstatic to see that the Saiyan can enable Sign at will now. Goku hits a beautiful stance to ready himself for combat, and the Namekian really interrupts to mention that the entire universe is at stake. Was that really supposed to have us gasping? And besides, fighting a universal threat in the Dragon Ball versus your typical Tuesday. With that out of the way, Goku begins by pulling his fist back to land a critical hit against the Devourer, continuously peppering him with air punches, forcing Moro to guard. The goat then loses his patience, so he yanks his arm up to turn the manga into a Michael Bay film. And the only reason he's done that was to fire Vegeta's technique of all things right at the Saiyan. Instead of using his high-speed evasion, Goku homes at Moro like a bullet bill, and not only tries to act similar to Superman like in the original dub, but also tries to punch like him. The Saiyan smoothly glides behind the goat to deal a blow to his chest, providing a perfect window for Goku to go on the offensive. Acknowledging Goku's maxed out agility, Moro shrouds the Saiyan's hands and feet in a purple ki to immobilize him, encouraging Goku to flirt with the ground. However, he wasn't going to lose his memory a second time, so Goku breaks free of the paralysis to teleport behind Moro. This has the Saiyan inquiring if that was the goat's magic, so he simply tells Goku that it's one of his many tricks up his sleeve. Moro then attempts to electrocute Goku with his sheer aura alone, and that most likely had a certain Universe 6 fusion wishing she trademarked it. However, I have no clue why Moro thought to steal this 2018 move, because no sane person would bother to do so when the originator got embarrassed by 3 separate camera angles. Anywho, Goku notices that Moro's electricity has cremated Sagambo's corpse, so he advises his son and Piccolo to stay back to avoid the same fate. Before their departure, Gohan tells his dad to not worry about scarring the earth, because they already have the Dragon Balls gathered to restore everything back to normal. With no need to restrain himself, Goku dashes into the danger zone to charge up a Kamehameha, but he delays its fire because the Saiyan does a complete 180 mid-air to shoot it in the other direction. Moro reappears looking absolutely bamboozled, and compliments Goku for being perceptive enough to see through the illusion. Goku explains that it's all thanks to watching Spider-Man Far From Home, and in the meantime Gohan and Piccolo are able to make it to safety, to which 18 wonders if Goku has gotten any stronger, but the Namekian doesn't even know because he can't sense divine ki. Anyway, Goku gives up on winning the beam clash, so Moro does the exact same, causing the two of them to dance together in the sky like it's Strictly. The Saiyan prepares to put this goat to sleep but ends up getting parried, so Goku lunges in with a kick instead, but Moro has already read him like a thesaurus. And do you want to know what Goku decides to do next? He rams into the goat with a headbutt. That's right, Goku has been training to master this angelic technique, only to start fighting Ooga Booga style. This ends up catching Moro off guard, leading to his descent, but the goat was like, "Get your ass back here! Goku realigns himself mid-air to throw a bunch of air punches at Moro, but the tyrant continues pulling him, causing the pair of them to interact with a punch in each other's sternums. Meanwhile, Gohan assumes that both his dad and Moro are on the same level, but the Namekian deduces that Goku has the speed advantage. However, he's unsure if that's enough to get the victory royale because Moro hasn't used his energy absorption yet, and Piccolo fumbled so hard here because that reminded the goat that he still had that technique in his locker. But even with his selling teammates, Goku is actually able to dodge the ability. The Saiyan slams Moro's cheek with a right hook before getting tossed aside, and is now adamant on landing his signature move, but is made to be super ineffective. The glazing comes into full fruition, where everyone is shocked that Goku somehow reached terminal velocity to dodge the energy absorption. You may as well call me a baker for commentating this next part, because Goku trampolines off Moro, weaves out of the goat's clutches with such tranquility, and completes a whole backflip to kick Moro straight in the ribs. That combo was so sublime that Moro nearly went straight into a coma. We then transition to Beerus' planet where the two angels are spectating this fight, and Whis is singing his brother's praises for training Goku to such an incredible degree. However, Whis is now curious to see if Goku will eventually use the silver hair, and this has Maris quaking in his boots because he knows that his teaching career is Man City. Anywho, the goat mistakes Goku for an incoming virus, so he puts down his firewall, and he begins to ponder why Goku desires to end this fight so early. Oh nah, Moro really changed his entire outlook on life, because he didn't just have Goku fighting like a Flintstone for a bit, but he's now actively suppressing his battle-hungry instincts. That's like a gambler completely losing their addiction when they're so as much in the presence of their worst enemy. Moro then tells Goku that he's made a grave mistake in assuming that he relies on the energy absorption to win, so the goat powers up even further, producing a bronze aura, and now the Devourer is certain that his time feeding has allowed them to trespass even the deities. Moro then proceeds to give the Saiyan a big old hug whilst generating a bunch of electricity, and this causes Goku to revert to base, with the goat realizing that he did not use Sign against Sagambo because he can't maintain it for long. Meris then tells his brother that Goku could not tap into the silver hair form during training, and Whis explains that Sign consumes a lot of stamina due to its instability, because the form is only meant to act as a gateway for perfected Ultra Instinct. Meanwhile, Moro had been patiently waiting for Goku's downfall, but the Saiyan continues to smile because he thinks that Moro stalling for time means that he can't handle his full power. So Goku taps into UI Sign once more with the intention of dropping the balancing act that Meris had taught him.
No, don't do it!
That's just rough. Imagine teaching your student for 2 whole months just for them to throw the in-game tactics out of the window. Anyway, both fighters begin charging their ki to max, which literally causes their auras to clash with one another. And in one of the coolest panels, Goku and Moro run at each other with their ki still on, ready to throw hands once again. However, Goku just remembered that he always comes first in a screaming contest, so he lets his lungs go wild, forcing Moro into the sky. The goat is prepared to blast the same, but Goku knocks it straight out of his hand, and then had Moro plummeting to earth, which almost had me thinking that Super Saiyan UI was canon. This was not enough to stop the Devourer, because he starts moving like a prime Daquan to smash Goku's skull in. Moro attempts to continue the beatdown, but Goku successfully flings him off his leg, and out of in his arsenal, the Saiyan chooses to use Ki Blast spam to keep the goat at bay. This scene just encapsulates how useful that technique is, because Moro rushes right through for Goku, causing both combatants to lock hands together. Meris is now uncertain how long Goku can fight at full power while using UI Sign, so Whis hated to break it to his brother, but the balancing act idea would have been a complete and utter shambles. Goku then smacks Moro for him to dine on rocks, but no joke, the goat remarks that he actually overestimated the Saiyan, vowing to not lose to the likes of him. Thank God we're switching to Vegeta's POV because he's completed the Yardrat training, and Elder Paibara is pleased that he's mastered it in such little time. The prince then requests a Nuba ride back to Earth, but the Yardrats explain that it's forbidden to teleport off their planet. In addition, they can only use instant transmission to teleport to someone they've met before. However, in this scenario, Elder Paibara has actually met Goku before but can't even detect his ki. Vegeta assumes it's because Goku is using Ultra Instinct, and so he demands Paibara to teach him the one and only instant transmission. Can we please stick to Vegeta's POV because Goku is getting completely violated? Did you guys just catch that? Moro really just weaved Ultra Instinct looking so disappointed. Anyway, the goat mentions that them Saiyans have limits, and this triggers Goku so much that he started bulking his muscles to land the blow on Moro. I've never seen a Saiyan so giddy after landing one singular hit, but the goat made sure to turn that smile upside down by blasting him with a mouth cannon. And the goat interrupts that choir by stomping on Goku to revert him to base. Whis witnesses Goku's defeat and turns off the staff to go back to doing his own thing, but Meris is the only deity around that actually cares about the fate of the many planets in Universe 7. This prompts Whis to remind Meris that meddling with the natural life cycle of a planet is not necessarily a good thing, and to drive his point home, Whis explains that only Destroyer Gods and Lord Zeno are allowed to intervene in that process. Back on Earth, the goat is moments away from absorbing Goku's energy but gets stopped by the androids, and I'm pretty sure they've never done this before, but 17 and 18 channel electricity through their palms, slashing Moro's stomach with a literal X marks the spot. I really thought them two cooked with that move, but that sadly ended up doing 0 damage to the goat. With not enough stamina left to activate UI Sign, Goku is forced to sit on the sidelines, but that was a blessing in disguise because it allowed Vegeta to use instant transmission to finally get back to Earth. Goku is shocked to see him use that technique, but Vegeta assures that he most likely can't use that move ever again. The prince then tells 17 and 18 to let him have a go, and looks at Moro's face in absolute disgust before transforming into Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. As a Vegeta fan, you could not measure how hyped I was on the first read, but a second later all of that came crashing down, because my glorious prince proceeds to hit the infamous thumb pose once again.
That is a foul! fucking little bastard!
Oh, I don't even know if I want to continue the rest of this video. Anywho, the prince rushes in to strike Moro's abdomen, however the goat is completely unfazed, making Vegeta look like a complete fraud. Even after that, the prince is still determined to put down the main villain, and this causes everyone to think that he's gone cuckoo. However, Piccolo reassures us all by saying that Vegeta is not one to misread an opponent's strength. Alright, this might be a hot take, but I don't think the Namekian statement is entirely wrong. Okay, just hear me out. I don't think Vegeta is underestimating his opponents. I think it's more so that Vegeta overestimates himself. Take for instance the battle with Goku in the Saiyan saga, because the whole time Vegeta was harping on the fact that a Saiyan elite like him could never be surpassed by a low-class warrior. I get that he also trash talks his enemies, but he really does flex his royal blood a lot, which leads to his overestimation. Anyway, Moro grabs Vegeta like a baby to slam him into the floor, but suddenly the goat feels like he's getting weaker. And then Vegeta deals a blow of his own which causes energy to leak out of Moro. Suddenly the energy gathers into a ball in the sky, and Goku realizes that Vegeta is using that Yardratian technique, Force Spirit Fission. Vegeta then tells Moro that he's liberated all the life energy he's stolen, and raises his hand to return it back to their rightful owners. Goku explains that the ability is used to tear apart things that were combined for fusion or absorption, and that it can also split assimilated beings like Piccolo as well. Goku gives props to Vegeta for learning a move that he couldn't, and the prince says it's because he's way more talented, affirming that victory is now his. At this point I almost feel sorry for Moro, because he gets pummeled so badly that the goat starts regrowing his Gandalf beard. Meanwhile, Paibara explains that returning life energy won't bring back the races that have been dead for too long, but thankfully 2 months is a short enough time allowing for the Namekians to be resurrected again. Piccolo then embodies your typical slop channel by telling everyone how Vegeta has changed as a person and the fact that he's trying to atone for his previous sins. But seriously, is he just foreign to the concept of show don't tell? And besides, as a Dragon Ball fan, how am I meant to read these paragraphs of text? They just look like hieroglyphics to me. Vegeta then questions if they should lock him up with Diddy or eliminate him altogether, but Jarko encourages the prince to do the latter. Both the prince and the goat proceed to discuss about hell, where Vegeta thinks he'll end up there too, accepting that he's still a villain at the end of the day. Moro giggles at the notion of entering the underworld since he still has his magic, so the goat casually leaves the scene before Jarko can tell Vegeta that he's fled to the sky. Moro is able to get to a ship where he fries Shimaraka into a crisp and starts munching on 7-3. Vegeta notices this and fires a ki blast to interrupt the goat's snack, but unfortunately the thumb pose curse strikes once again, and Moro descends from his obliterated aircraft, revealing that he has now absorbed OG 7-3. Some people theorize that Moro originated from the demon world where Goku fought Tamagami number 3, so please click here if you're interested.